Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Novita Rahmasari. Di sini saya akan menjelaskan beberapa hal tentang the development of ESP. Langsung saja. Yang pertama, the concept of special language register analysis. This stage took place mainly in the 1960s and early 1970s and was associated in particular with the work of Peter Stevens, Halliday, Mackintosh, and Stevens 1964, Jack Auer, and later 1969, and John Swallows 1971. Operating on the basic principle that the English of, say, electrical engineering constitute a specific register different from that of, say, biology or of general English, the aim the analysis. Register analysis revealed that there was very little that was distinctive in the sentence grammar of scientific English beyond the tendency to favor particular forms such as the present simple tense, the passive voice, and nominal compound. Jadi, tahap ini terjadi pada tahun 1960-an sampai dengan awal tahun 1970-an. Analisis register mengungkapkan bahwa sangat sedikit perbedaan dalam tata bahasa Inggris ilmiah di luar kecenderungan untuk menyukai bentuk-bentuk tertentu seperti present simple tense, passive voice, dan nominal compound. Oke, kita lanjut ke bagian kedua. Beyond the sentence rhetorical or discourse analysis. Whereas in the first stage of its development, ESP had focused on language at the sentence level. The second phase of development shifted attention to the level about the sentence as ESP became closely involved in with the emerging field of discourse or rhetorical analysis. Rhetorical patterns of text organization differ significantly between specialist area of use. The structure plays according to the area of work or study. The typical teaching material based on the discourse approach taught students to recognize textual patterns and discourse markers mainly by means of text diagramming exercise. Jadi, jika pada tahap pertama perkembangannya, ESP berfokus pada bahasa pada tataran kalimat. Perkembangan tahap kedua ini semakin dekat dengan bidang wacana atau analisis retorika yang sedang berkembang. Oke, next. Target situation analysis. The aim of this phase is to take the existing knowledge and set it on a more scientific basis by establishing procedures for relating language analysis more closely to learners' reason for learning. There is a purpose of ESP course that support this phase. The purpose is to enable learners to function in situations which the learners will use the language they are learning. Then the ESP course design process should proceed by first identifying the target situation and the carrying out the right analysis of the linguistics part of the situation. It will form the syllabus of the ESP course. The process known as needs analysis, what had been done previously in piecemeal way become something systematic and learner needs was apparently placed in the center of the course design process. Tujuan dari fase ini adalah untuk mengambil pengetahuan yang ada dan meletakkannya di atas dasar yang lebih ilmiah, dengan menetapkan prosedur untuk menghubungkan analisis bahasa lebih dekat dengan alasan pembelajaran untuk belajar. Apa yang telah dilakukan sebelumnya sedikit demi sedikit menjadi sesuatu yang sistematis. Oke, next. Skill and strategies. In this space, it's considered not only the language itself but also the thinking process that underlie language use. This space was set up to cope with study situations where the medium of instruction is the mother tongue, but students need to read a number of specialist texts which are available only in English. As a result, it concentrates their efforts on reading strategies. In this space, we don't need to focus closely on the surface form of the language. The focus should be placed on the underlying interpretive strategies, which enable the learner to cope with the surface form of the language. For example, guessing the meaning of words from context zone. This approach generally emphasizes on reading or listening strategies. The characteristic exercise gets the learners to reflect on and analyze how meaning is produced in and retrieved from written or spoken language. Dalam fase ini, tidak hanya mempertimbangkan bahasa itu sendiri, tetapi juga proses berpikir yang mendasari penggunaan bahasa. Fase ini dibentuk untuk mengatasi situasi di mana bahasa pengantar adalah bahasa ibu, tetapi siswa perlu membaca sejumlah teks khusus yang hanya tersedia dalam bahasa Inggris. Oke, kita masuk pada bagian yang terakhir dari the development of ESP. Learning-centered approach. Previously, in the origin of ESP, we knew that there were three forces that had role in ESP and became its characteristics: the awareness, new ideas about language, and new ideas about learning. A truly valid approach to ESP must be based on an understanding of the process of language learning. Dalam asal mula ESP, bahwa ada tiga kekuatan yang berperan dalam ESP dan menjadi ciri khasnya, yaitu kebutuhan, gagasan baru tentang bahasa, dan gagasan baru tentang pembelajaran. Oke, mungkin hanya itu yang bisa saya sampaikan. Sekian dari saya akhiri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.